Hey friends, how's it going? Welcome to your art class. So today, what we're going to be doing is you're going to use a horizon line, right there, horizon line to create a landscape. And you're going to add fantasy elements. So let's talk about what that means. So, a horizon line is this little line. Yeah. If we look at this picture next to me, you see this line here that's going through the middle of the picture? That is the horizon line, okay? It almost looks like where the ground and the sky meet. Okay, if you look at this one above me, you can see like there's this line, it's kind of wiggly, and there's green where the grass is and blue where the sky is. That is what the world looks like, okay? You might have some mountains or trees that kind of push it up a little bit, but it's still kind of like this is the horizon line, and then we have some mountains. So we're going to learn how to draw like that, draw like an outdoor landscape scene. And you're going to learn lots of cool drawing techniques. You might unlearn some of the things that you learned when you were very young how to draw and learn kind of a more realistic or interesting way to draw some things. So let's get right into it. Give me a second to just struggle with my camera here, as usual. Whoa, you should see what my setup here. It's crazy. I have like a stool with a. It's just crazy. Okay, so here's my paper. I'm gonna leave it like this so you can see these other drawings. All right. So I'll be drawing with a pencil first. It's good to draw with a pencil first because you'll have to erase things. On this paper, I love doing this. I love doing this lesson. On this paper, I'm going to show you what we're not doing, okay? This paper is going to represent kind of the picture that you learned how to draw in kindergarten, all right? Which is really cute, but we're going to unlearn it today. So in the kindergarten picture, the grass is here, and the sky is here, right? In the kindergarten picture, it makes sense because the ground is below us, right? It's down. And then the sky is above us. So the sky's at the top. It makes sense if you think about it, but that's not really what the world looks like, okay? So let's relearn this. In our 4th grade picture, the horizon line goes through the middle. And this could be, as you see in some of these, it could be hilly, it could be mountainy. I'm just going to do a straight one for now, okay? This is what it should look like in the middle. Because all this down here, this is all grass, okay? And then all this up here, this, and I'm not really coloring this in, I'm just kind of putting some color there just to show you. This is all sky. If you were to go out into a field, this is what it would look like. The ground and the sky would actually look like they meet up, okay? So, if I was a kindergartner and I was going to draw a tree, it would be a rectangle with a little cotton ball on top like this, right? And it's sitting right on top of the horizon line like that, okay? Now, if I was a 4th grader and I was going to draw a tree, you have this entire space to work with. So if I'm drawing a tree that's up close, I'm near my bottom of my page, my tree, here's the point I want you to get. There's a million ways to draw a tree. It doesn't have to look like this, okay? Here's how I'm going to do it. Not the only way to do it, just how I'm going to do it. My tree is going to have more of a curve where it gets wider near the bottom. And I'm going to add some roots. Okay? And then the top, before I draw the leaves, I'm going to draw a couple of branches. And they might split off. The branches are like the skeleton of your tree. This is defining where the tree's going. Some wiggly branches. I'll draw some branches from behind, some coming up to fill the spaces. And then I see my horizon lines going over it a little bit. That's why I did it in pencil. You can erase it. Now, I did my branches, and now I can draw the big floofy shapes for the leaves. See, that wasn't so hard. It looks nice. I'll admit it. That's a nice looking tree right there. But that wasn't hard. You saw how I did that. It was pretty simple. So, does this tree look close up or does it look far away? It looks kind of close, doesn't it? That's because it's big, because when something's closer to you, it's big, looks bigger. And look at where it is on the page. It's near the bottom, right? Here's how to make something far away. You put it near the horizon line and you make it small. Watch what this does. I draw a tree near the horizon line here. Small. A couple of branches. Okay, you see how that works? If it's near the horizon line and it's small, it looks far away. Look at this landscape picture over, hang on, I'm disoriented, over here, okay? So there is, oh, this is hard. But on this picture, you can see that there's trees that are on the horizon line and they're tiny. And then you can also see the pine trees are going, as they go back in space, they're getting smaller, 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 right? So as we get toward the horizon line, we get smaller and farther away. If I draw a tree that's small and it's near the bottom of the page, let's see what that looks like. That looks like a little tiny baby tree, okay? Because it's down here. What if I draw a tree that's really big, but it's on the horizon line? What do you think? If I do that, that looks like a big, giant monster tree because it's on the horizon line. If you draw something big and it's standing on top of the horizon line, it looks gigantic, okay? So like if you want that, like say I make a mountain, right? It's really big and it's on the horizon line. That looks like a huge mountain, okay? So you can use that. Or like say I draw a city in the background, and I make the buildings really tiny. Well, we know that buildings are huge, so that looks like it's super far away, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm just trying to teach you the basics of how this landscape works, okay? A landscape basically means like an outdoor drawing, all right? So we have a horizon line. I'm going to go over the basics of what we learned here, okay? Because it's a lot, I know. You've got a horizon line. You've got things that are close to you are big and near the bottom. Things that are far away are small and near the horizon line, okay? A road would be a really good example of this. Say I have a road that's going to start here. It's going to end here, all right? As it's close to me near the bottom, it's going to be wide. And as it's winding back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it get smaller. So I'm following this, and I'm making these lines get closer together, smaller, smaller as it goes back until they touch at the very point. You see that? That's a good illustration of how things get smaller as they go back. Okay? So that's the basics of how you're going to set up a landscape. Let's go back to this. Let's talk about clouds. The kindergarten version of a cloud is just like the top of the tree that they just went like and put up there, which is fine. I mean, you can see even Dr. Seuss up here draws a cloud like that. It's adorable. There's nothing wrong with it, okay? I just want to show you that there are many, many other ways to do clouds, and I don't want you to just feel like that's the way you draw clouds, okay? Like my favorite way, I do flat bottom clouds, and then little floofies, and then big floofies up at the top, right? That's nice. And you know how down here things get smaller as they go to the horizon line? Guess what? Your clouds can do the same thing. So as they get down further on the page, I'm making my clouds smaller and smaller. See that? That's a nice effect. You can do wispy clouds, and I'm going to have them get smaller and smaller. Okay. You can do wispy clouds going down. There's lots of different kinds of clouds. Let's talk about the sun. This is the most common one I see. Okay. You don't have to draw the sun like that, folks. Okay. You can, but you don't have to. There's better ways to do it. I like to draw the sun like peeking over the horizon, maybe behind the clouds. You see that? Ooh, looks like it's setting. It's just nestling into the mountains. Okay, the sun can just be a circle. It does not have to have little hairs. The sun does not, I hate to break it to you, it doesn't actually have these things. All right. If the sun's in the sky and it's like yellow, I like to color yellow around the outside and leave the middle white. It's got to glow. If it's a yellow ball in the sky and it's daytime, we know it's the sun. Okay, you don't have to put these to tell us it's the sun. We get it. Your drawing's good enough. We get it. So, hey, you know what? You can make the sun like, you could give him sunglasses and a big smile and a backwards hat, and you could have him giving you a thumbs up, and he's, I don't know, playing tennis. I don't know. I'm just doing random stuff, okay? My point is, do the sun any way you want. It's just kind of a shame that we only do this one, all right? Allow yourself to be creative with how you do the sun. Even look at this one above me, right up here. Look at that sun. It's got sunglasses, but he's got like some patterns. I think he's sweating maybe. And the little sun rays are like funky little shapes with colors. Like even that's just awesome, okay? So that's kind of how you set up a landscape. So our project is to add fantasy elements to a landscape. So I would like you to make a landscape picture that has fantasy elements. Like you can see this Dr. Seuss picture above me has these funky trees, and it's got some funny weird birds that don't exist in real life. We got some weird shaped mountains in the background, right? So unless you've already started, if you've been like drawing with me and you're drawing like this nice outdoorsy landscape, it's not a big deal. Okay, the fantasy landscape is just for fun. So if you've already started on a different one, don't sweat it. But here's how I would do fantasy landscape. My horizon line is going to be crazy. And like instead of mountains, it's going to have like weird shapes. I'm just making these. This is my horizon line, okay? This is where the ground meets the sky. And it's got these crazy shapes. And that's instantly going to tell you, all right, this is not a normal place. This is not Earth. Okay, so here's the ground and here's the sky, right? Maybe I'll make up a whole new kind of tree, just like Dr. Seuss did, okay? So my tree, I'm putting it near the bottom, and I'm making it big, so you know it's close. And my tree is going to come like this, and it's going to go, and it's just getting thinner as it goes up. And at the top of the tree, it's like a little tiny, tiny palm tree. That is a weird looking tree, okay? And I'll do more of those. You see how Dr. Seuss is right here? Those are called truffula trees, I think. And they're like, there's a bunch. So it looks like you're in a forest, right? And they're getting smaller as they go back to the horizon line. Good job, Dr. Seuss. That guy gets it. He's a good artist. Okay. So there's another tree, you know, add all kinds of things. Add a funny, weird looking house. This one has a weird little vehicle. It says the once something wagon. I don't even know. So you can make 3 suns. And then like a weird planet that doesn't exist. Right? There's so much that you can do with this fantasy landscape. So let your imagination go wild. You can make dragons. You can make fairies and unicorns and anything. Okay? Do something unique with this. So I'll just let you look at this for a minute. Okay? And I'm going to do another quick review. I'm going to outline some stuff. Here's the basics I want you to get. Horizon line. All right? That's where the ground meets the sky. Things are bigger toward the bottom, and they're closer. Things are smaller toward the horizon line. They look farther away, okay? So, I know this is a lot because this is a big lesson, but that's okay. I'm gonna challenge you a little bit. I'm gonna drag you away from this picture, all right? This is a cute picture. You can still draw like this. Don't let me stop you. It's fine. But I just want to push you toward something like this. So try it out. If you struggle with it, it's okay. Don't stress about it. I just want you to try it out, okay? Alrighty. So I hope that was a really helpful lesson for you. I hope you step out of your comfort zone a little bit with your drawing and try some new things. And feel free to send me your pictures. I would really like to see some cool fantasy landscapes. All right. Take care. Love you all, and hope you just keep making art. I hope this opens up a whole new way of thinking with you, and you're like, I want to do more. So, bye-bye.